and soon to be posted. I've posted it, but I have it in the blog, but it's not posted yet. The very first poem of 2026, January 1st, 2026, is going to be called Gothic Constellations Lead to Western Destinations, and in parentheses underneath, regarding abstract poetry. It's really a conversation I had via text message with someone. It's number 4,934 of the Anachronisms. Abstraction, I presume, or from what I gather, is quite different from culture to culture. And in ours, for sure, it's too head-scratching for most, but that's poetry. It seems to require quite a bit of numbskulls to get into it, even considering 20th century art, etc. But also, it's about a step away from trad poetry, too, because poetry thinks so highly of itself that everyone generally thinks of it as difficult. We have to work so hard to understand it, right? I suppose this is our multiculturalism topic for today. Or do you get that notion? Not you yourself, but don't you think others think that way generally? And I will say that if so, they are indeed misguided at best. But there are a lot of different structural mechanisms, poetry, architecture, and a lot of different, what did you say earlier, literary devices? Ruses, one might call them. So people get, oh, I just don't get it. It's so hard to get. What a lyrical fallacy. Writers do have plenty of traditional devices. Readers might enjoy them or roll their eyes or be oblivious, or realizing they are upon one, get triggered into, oh, how difficult poetry is. Oh, how difficult poetry is, sorry. Writers are no more complicated than anyone else. Likewise, readers can run the gamut, but overcomplicate the simplicity of reading. Writers can do the same thing, overcomplicate the simplicity of writing, I suppose, or whatever. Can make things complicated, can prefer or wish they were reading a novel or short story because poetry equals difficult. Novelists and novels can be quite complex as well, but the words, the writing, the poem itself is for a reader who absolutely should not generally need to know, much less understand any poetic devices, anything whatsoever, except how to read and listen, or read and or listen, to get stuff out of what's clearly on the page, to get big stuff out of it, even, like what's not obviously there, or what might be, oh no, complicated. But like surfing, a sport, something I have no interest in, but a lot of people do, you just need one thing besides to do. You need do one thing besides simply read/listen, which is write it. Go, R-I-D-E it. Go wherever it takes you, wherever that is. And where it takes you is never wrong. I mean, you can get the wrong impressions. You can wind up someplace unintentional, which is something fantastic. Sometimes fantastic and sometimes not. But it's not wrong. It doesn't make the journey incorrect or even more difficult. Or even difficult. It doesn't make the journey, I'm editing as I go along. It doesn't make the journey incorrect or even difficult. I mean, especially if you enjoy the ride, take it wherever it takes you. And you enjoy that in some form or fashion, or have that dumb, I have to solve this mentally, like you and I tend to have. Keep writing, R-I-D-I-N-G, and soon you begin to learn the different kinds of waves and how to ride them each best as you can. And they all take you someplace, often someplace beautiful. Forget sharks and stingrays and shit. I mean, you may encounter those too, like in real life, or actual surfing, which you may enjoy much more than poetry. But after a while, if you want adventure, you can find and appreciate sharks and stuff. And you can learn to ride more and more bizarre, or bigger, or smaller, or more unpredictable waves. You can get a desire for those, a fetish, so to speak. You know, this is precisely the kind of didacticism that is pretty much unnecessary, in my humble opinion. when it comes to poetry. And yet, look at me, enjoying a bit of complexity and a good metaphor I happen upon.